What's going on, Monster Hunters and Honeys? It's your boy Dak908, aka the Dig Duggan himself, and we're back again with some more Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate gameplay. This one is going to be an exceptionally long video, and I'm going to do my best to get through as much of this video as I possibly can without actually being too overburdened with the fact that it's a 30-minute video. So you have to excuse me for that. But what we will do, much like usual, we will get into the square business of the entire deal, and then move on to some random other stuff for as long as I can actually be bothered to actually go on to stuff, because I know you guys want to hear me talk for years and years and years on end, but you have to understand, 30 minutes sitting down, talking about a video through a microphone is kind of a lot. Plus, when I have another video that I want to do that's actually really nice, it's only a 10-minute video, it's nice and bite-sized, and I want to get both these things up probably today. Anyway, white Monoblos. As you can tell by the name all by itself, it is a subspecies to the Monoblos monster. Don't get it confused with Diablos. Monoblos and Diablos are not subspecies. They are two totally different monsters. Relatively same makeup for the most part, but they're different. You know, one horn, two horn, skull structure is different, things like that. But whatever. White Monoblos is a very interesting beast. This bad boy here, he is. If you fought the Monoblos before and you thought, yo, Monoblos was kind of angry or Monoblos was kind of tough, well, white Monoblos is easily double. And everything I could think of, just times 2. White Monoblos is Monoblos times 2. I mean, it's like fighting two monsters at the same time, because it never stops moving until it gets really tired, which it does kind of get tired every now and then. I'll give that up. When it goes in a super rampage, you can either do one or two things. Either stay really close to it and attack it, because it normally needs a bit of space to actually perform some of its more intricate attacks, or just wait it out, because after you wait it out, it'll 9 times out of 10 it'll go straight into being really tired. But Monoblos is a very, very, very aggressive monster. I mean, I think I caught twice in this hunt. Yeah, I think I caught twice in this hunt. I'm looking at the space in between like game audio versus no audio, and I'm pretty sure there's like, I do cart twice. But just note that when you go to fight this guy, you gotta come prepared. Let's talk about the preparations first. Let's talk about what we need to bring before fighting this monster. This is the important things. Okay. In this hunt, I'm wearing Tidal Narjarala armor. This armor has no skills that's actually beneficial to me when fighting this guy, except speed sharpening, because you're gonna need some time to sharpen your weapon, because I would recommend white sharpness. If you have purple, more power to you. Blue is cool too, but there's certain parts of his body that actually make it pretty hard to actually hit. Now his little back plate on his back there, you can't really fight into it until it's broken off. So that can kind of become a nuisance, especially if you're a lance user like myself, when we do our up thrust, because our up thrusts are naturally, I think, about a little bit more damaging, but like 10 points or something like that. But you want to try to aim for his feet. Aim for his feet, the toes, the ankles, the toes, and the face. If you can get a nice flash bomb off quickly, he will stand in a nice position for you to actually hit the face for quite some time. Take advantage of the fact that you pick up some goods at the base camp there, and you might actually pick up a flash bomb. Or you can bring see that I got fainted right there. I fainted because I was going to run then dive, but I ran and then I parkoured up that rock, and I didn't want to parkour up the rock, even though I wanted to run in that direction. I just wish I could ran straight through the rock. I would have dived shortly afterwards. But anyway, if you bring some flash bombs, you'll be okay, because the flash bombs, like I said, if you throw him and he gets dazed by it, he'll stand still for quite some time. You can do quite a bit of damage. If you're lucky, you can actually break the horn with one flash bomb use if you just aim directly at the face. So know to hit the face and the feet when fighting them. But back to things you need to bring. Bring some ice weapons, okay? Its weaknesses are ice and thunder, but I recommend ice, due in part that if you're here in the game, the closest thing you could probably have to a thunder weapon will probably be Kezu, if you're G rank, that is. Well, you should be anyway. Will probably be Kezu, but you're probably gonna get better luck with Zamtrios. The Zamtrios armor is better. I think the Zamtrios, the Zamtrios weapons, it being ice, some of them would definitely benefit you a little bit more. So just go for some ice stuff if you can. but if you can't, thunder is also pretty well. You can use that. You can use that too. In a pinch, I mean, if you're unlucky, if you're too unlucky, I guess you could say, to actually get either ice or thunder, in a pinch, you can go in there with actually fire. Okay, you don't want to go in there with water. I remember when in a pinch, if you were fighting Diablos, you kind of go in there with water, but in a pinch, you go. I said pinch like 18 times, but if you're struggling, definitely go here with some fire if at all possible. But that'll probably be harder because Rathalos stuff is a lot harder to come by later on. But whatever. Again, bring some ice or some thunder if you can. A weapon type to bring. I wouldn't bring a lance. I fought this guy, made the armor using straight lance. It was a tough time. Bring something that gives you a little bit more mobility. Normally, in a case like this where I want to maintain my strong hits or my powerful, fact that I can stay right there near a monster and do some decent damage, while having the option to move a bit, I would bring a greatsword to this fight. I would totally bring a greatsword to this fight because you would have if you use this armor set, you have punishing draw. So with the greatsword, come there, bam, use your drawing attack, hit them, might stun. If you stun them, perfect, get another hit off or something like that. I would go in here with a great sword. Dual blades, actually. I would definitely go here with dual blades. If I'm going here with dual blades, I would probably go with like some paralysis or something like that. Maybe, or poison. Probably poison. Dual blades. I will go in here with the charge blade. I've done so. I've done really well with the charge blade. Long sword. I was actually going to make a long sword to go in here with it because I feel as if it would work really well as well. So if you're a user in those weapon groups, you can possibly come out on top and fight this guy, because it just seems that you would need a little bit more mobility when fighting this thing, because he's definitely quite mobile. Definitely one of the more mobile monsters. That's what makes him so deadly. He moves a lot. Okay, definitely moves a lot. Next thing you're gonna probably have to bring with you is some sonic bombs. You see me throw a couple of them at the ground, or in this battle when he digs underground. Definitely have to bring, because it's like having a mini. Not even a mini, it's like having extra pitfall traps whenever he wants to dig. Now, the best times and only times, actually the only times which you are able to actually successfully use a sonic bomb against them is when he is not enraged. You will know when this monster is not enraged if you look at his mouth and there's not black smoke coming out of his mouth. If he has black smoke coming out of his mouth, he's enraged. Sonic bombs will not work. You will waste your sonic bombs, and you'll probably get scooped for your ignorance. So please, when you go to fight a Diablos, a Blos monster of any sort, make sure that you are not actually throwing sonic bombs when they are enraged. You want to throw a sonic bomb when they're in their normal state, or when they're fatigued. When they're fatigued, you know that when they're salivating from the mouth, they got the drool coming out and everything. That's actually the best time to throw the sonic bomb, because if you get a sonic bomb off like that, they are stuck in that trap for a very long time. And odds are you can do quite a bit of damage from them with that. And then if you can kind of guess how long they're gonna be in the trap, and before they actually jump out of the trap and like float in the sky and then like come back down, you can throw a flash bomb when they're in the sky, and they'll fall to the ground. You can do some more damage to them that way, and then they have to sit through the entire flash state once they get back up. Odds are, if they are fatigued, they will constantly try to dig again and again and again and again until you piss them off too much. So if you do get a if you do get a white Monoblos when he's fatigued and you hit him with a sonic bomb, that is your chance to do massive amounts of damage. Okay, so look for those opportunities. A couple of the things that you could bring, I suppose, depending on like if your situation was right, you could bring bombs. I mean, you don't really need bombs so much for the horn. The horn comes off pretty easily. I did try to use a nice little bomb setup here, and it didn't necessarily work all that well. I don't know what I was trying to do. I guess I just wanted to use all of my resources that they were giving, that I picked up rather at the base camp. It probably tacked on another 2 minutes of time of me just messing around and not actually going for the attack. But if you are going to bring bombs, I would bring them solely for like sleep bombing purposes and things like that. If you do have a sleep weapon, and like, sure, go ahead. But if not, then just forget about it, because it's not really worth it. I mean, you could bring bombs for the last hurrah when the monster does go to sleep. When he's almost finished, you can probably bring bombs for that. But I necessarily wouldn't recommend just bringing bombs just to bring them. In terms of materials and things like that, those are the main stuff you're gonna have to bring. Oh yes, max potion. You might cart because he hits very hard. Okay, make sure your armor is at least 500. Okay, you can get away with less. You definitely can. But with 500, you're able to actually take 3 hits. Anything under 500, like my defense, if he's enraged, anything under 500, he will kill you in 2 hits. At max health. Max health, dead in 2 hits. Or if you want to be real serious, a hit in like a half or hit in a quarter. I mean, that's the reason why I died the first time. I got hit twice. Okay, so defense at about 500. If you can really push it, make to where you can get to like 600 or something like that. That's when you can take a couple of hits, and it's not gonna be that big of a problem for you once you actually get the fight going in your favor. So just think about that. Definitely want to up your defense because he's a huge and quick jump from being a slouch to a real serious fight. Because Zamtrios and Tidal Narjarala, they were nothing compared to this guy. Hell, Narjarala was nothing compared to this guy. This guy is a monster. He hits very hard. But like I said before, he gets fatigued. So when he is all enraged and everything, let him do his thing or stay near him to actually capitalize on some of his attacks that are a bit more, you know, they have a bit more cooldown, I guess you could say, and do the best you can to fight him that way. I think that's all the stuff I got for you guys. Tips, tricks, gave you his habits. Oh, let me talk about a couple of his moves. Let's talk about a couple of his moves. Okay, unless you've been watching this video, you know, with your eyes closed, I suppose, you pretty much saw most of his moves already, but I'll break some down for you and like what they really do, in case I didn't actually let you guys see me get completely mauled by them. His primary means of attack is obviously trying to ram you with his horn there, but he has a couple of moves. The ones that's going to probably catch you the most is these two. He has not that one. You should never get caught by that move unless you're like way away and you're trying to sharpen and he decides to use that move. You should never get hit with his 4-point stance charge because it's the slowest thing that he has, and if you're really close to it, if you're close to his face, actually when he does it, he'll go straight through you. It's like a weird glitch. Like if you're right there in his face when he does it, it'll go directly through. It's happened to me a couple of times. I try to block it and it hit nothing but air. But don't try to go for it. I mean, it is a little hitbox glitch. It could definitely, you know, phase in and out and actually get you hit and probably kill you. So don't try to actually go for it. He does have this charge attack where it's 2 quick head thrusts. Okay, that's probably one of his most common attacks. I get hit with it every so often due to the fact that it's not like I forget the second one is there. Is that if he misses the first one, he will crane his head to where the second one actually is in better position to actually hit you. So you have to watch out for that as well. Another attack you have to watch out for, probably the one that gets me every single time, is normally when you fight a monster who actually runs around like this, you're pretty much, it's a safe bet that once the monster runs past you, you're pretty good. You can put your weapon up or whatever, and you can actually regain your footing and actually probably find a better position so you can actually do better stuff against the monster because you weren't doing so well. Well, with this guy, he capitalizes on the fact that for some reason he can turn on a dime. Okay, he will run past you, turn around, and like before you even turn the camera, he just did it. He will run past you, turn around on a dime, and come back the other way, well, the way in which he came. And it gets me quite a few times, I will admit. Like, you have to keep your head on a swivel. You know, when he goes past you, that it's not enough. Always think he's gonna do it because it doesn't look like any different it doesn't look like any different type of charges. No weird startup to it. There's no weird animation in between or nothing like that. It just looks like a normal charge, but he will turn. You know what I mean? Sometimes he won't turn when he does it, but sometimes he will. Haven't really pinned down the fact that if it's really based on whether he's enraged or not. So just be on the lookout for it. Okay. Definitely that. Talk about his 4-point stance. You should never get hit by that because it's fairly easy to actually dodge. Talk about his double charge and his head sweep. Digging. Now, let me talk about digging really quick, especially with sonic bombs. You can only get the monster out of the sonic bomb if the monster itself does not actually plan on coming up yet. Now, if the monster is traveling underground or is just sitting underground, you can use the sonic bomb to get him up. Once he actually decides I'm going to come up here, it's actually signified by him going to a location, and sand looks like it's gonna come up right there on a spot. If you see that already, don't throw your sonic bomb, because no matter what you do, he's going to come up. Happens a couple times. It's not a very common instance. You just have to watch out for that. So just want to give you that quick tip right there. But about his digging, now this bad boy, one thing I did notice about Monoblos was that he does not have a quick dive. Now a quick dive is it's kind of a phrase that I coined for Diablos, where he will dig straight down and come like straight up. It's a quick dive. He'll, you know, not stupid quick, but he'll dive under. You think, okay, I got some time. You put your weapon up, and then he's already up. You know what I mean? He'll be underground for like a second. He doesn't have a quick dive, so I guess you can breathe a little bit easier. Now, it's not necessarily like a slow dive, but he will dig underground, move like 2 feet, and then come up underneath you. It's not the same as a quick dive. The quick dive is definitely dangerous. And a quick dive, he would already came up. It's almost like an unblockable kind of thing. It's really tough to actually gauge the quick dive, so you don't have to worry about him having that extremely weird quick dive ability. And much like the Diablos, where the Diablos would shoot out of the sand, you know, screaming and kicking and whatnot, the Monoblos does not have that. That does not have that attack at all. So when the Monoblos is actually digging, it's not really that much of a threat. Just run away from it. Take note to the path in which it takes on the ground, and you should be relatively okay. And guys, that is literally everything I have for you on Monoblos. I really can't tell you anything else. If I did miss anything, let me know. I pretty much gave you, like I said, all the information. Oh wait, there's one last thing I can talk about real quick. If you decide to make this monster's armor, I totally recommend it. I made it. I'm using it. I made Shrouded Narjarala. It looks pretty good. It gave you a cape, but I was like, in terms of skills, White Monoblos has it down beat. Okay, raw right from the jump. You're gonna get Adrenaline 2, Expert 1, Sharpness +1, and Constitution +6, Stamina +4 as well. But you will have Demonic Blessing. Now, Demonic Blessing aside, the 3 skills you're gonna get innately are very good. Adrenaline 2, without touching it, Adrenaline 2. I'm a huge Adrenaline junkie. By no means that like some kind of weird term. It just means that I love using Adrenaline +2 as a means to boost my attack and defense to great lengths, so that way I can actually take out monsters relatively quickly. So if you like me and really like potential, and you like Sharpness +1 because you're not stupid, you're gonna want to really like to get this set. It's a tough set to get because you're gonna have to get about like 8 Monoblos horns. Granted though, saving grace is that if you break the horn, you're guaranteed to get it. Okay, also if you want to be cheap about it, if the breaking the horn is the sub quest, so if you actually start the quest, hit him with a flash bomb like I told you guys to do earlier, and attack his horn viciously, you can break the horn before the flash bomb completely wears off, and you can turn the subquest right there and get the horn. So beat the monster himself about 5 times roughly, because you're gonna need about 18 cortex for like 15 shine or whatever, which come relatively free, and then you're gonna need that mini stout horn. Now the one thing you're gonna have to get to make the armor that might take a little while is a I think it's a Monoblos heart. Yeah, you can carve it off of him. You can pick it up off of shiny drops, and you can get in the box. I recommend killing the monster to get it, because the same chance practically to actually get it in a capture is the same chance you get off of a carve. So with the fact that you can get 4 carves off of this monster, it's just the better route in my opinion, you know, and pick up the shinies as well. So that's pretty much all I can tell you though, for real guys. That's it. There's nothing else for me to tell you. I mean, the armor is dope. The weapons, I don't know, not so much. I'm not really big on Diablo's weapons, never really have been. It was an affinity problem. But the weapons, or whatever, it's up to you. The armor's really nice. Definitely bring some ice or some thunder if you can into this fight. Bring you at least 10 sonic bombs. Max yourself out some sonic bombs. And if you want to be really cool with it, you know, bring some flash bombs if you want to make the monster back off a little bit, give you a little breather, you know, to sharpen your weapons, take some potions, or just to capitalize on the fact that he kind of stays still for the most part when you fight him. Definitely though, if you flash bomb, like, be directly in front of him, don't be underneath him, because he will scratch the ground all the time, and that's normally a knockdown on your behalf. So aim at the head. But guys, with all that being said, that's literally everything I got for you guys. There's not much left to the hunt, maybe like 10 minutes, but I'm gonna let you guys watch that as you please. It's been your boy Dak908, aka the Dig Dug himself. I'm gonna see all you guys on the next one. Take care.